Hey y'all, I'm your girl Shawnee C. Today it is Monday, June 4th, and you're watching Shawnee C TV, baby. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all 10 bomb ass Netflix original shows. First I'm gonna start off with 13 Reasons Why. If you didn't see my video on season 2, go ahead and check it out. 13 Reasons Why is about a teenager named Hannah in high school, and she kills herself. She commits suicide, and she leaves tapes behind explaining why she did what she did, because of all the bullying that was going on in school, and she was sexually assaulted, and a whole bunch of other stuff that happened. Everyone should definitely check that show out. It's a really good show because it talks about some of the things that people don't like to discuss that happens in schools. And with the climate that the world is in right now, with all of these school shootings and stuff like that, this is a show that people need to watch. And I feel like it's not just a teen show, but that adults should watch it too, because it gives adults a way to start the conversation with their kids and make sure that their kids are all in the right mind space, and that whatever going on in school, they can help their kids get through it. Or if they, just help them in general, like go to the school, get something done to stop all the bullying and harassment and stuff like that goes on in schools that people don't like to talk about because the kids get embarrassed. You don't want to go home and tell your family that in school people bully you and harass you and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a good show, and it starts the conversation at home. So everyone should go ahead and watch it. Second show I'm going to start off with is, well, not start off with, but second show is Orange is the New Black. I've been watching Orange is the New Black since the jump. Orange is the New Black is about a woman named Piper. She goes to prison, and basically it shows her journey in prison, why she got to prison, I mean, what made her go to jail. And then all the other women that she meets within the prison, and it shows their background and their life, and just how everything is with the guards and the system and whatnot. So Orange is the New Black is a really fucking good show. Not only is it a good storyline altogether, but it's funny, it's dramatic, it makes you cry sometimes. So everyone should definitely go check that out. Season 5 should actually be coming soon though. So I'm gonna watch that. Okay, show 3 is Stranger Things. I told you guys about Stranger Things season 1 and 2 a couple of videos ago. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. Stranger Things, fucking mind blowing. I watched it dumb late compared to everybody else, but it was a very great show. It's about these boys who live in a small town back in like maybe the 60s or 70s maybe. And some supernatural stuff starts to go on. Like it's a whole nother parallel universe where it's like the other side, like it's dark and it's cold over there, and these creatures live over there that like basically kill people. So it's a really good show, and they start to unravel all of that and everything that's going on. People start disappearing, and that's how everything comes about. Everybody should definitely go check Stranger Things out, especially if you like sci-fi type things and horror films, well, shows, sci-fi, and if you like dramatic stuff. So definitely check Stranger Things out. A fourth show to watch is Jessica Jones. I also told you guys about Jessica Jones. It's about a young adult who has these super abilities. She has super strength, and she's a private investigator. I'm sorry. She's a private investigator, and she has super strength, and she ends up finding people and like doing cases, and she ends up digging into a lot of her past and figuring out things that happened to her and how she became to have the super strength that she has. Jessica Jones is one of those Marvel shows. You gotta know I fucking love Marvel, so y'all should definitely go watch it. Show 5 is Daredevil. Daredevil is another Marvel show. Daredevil is about a man who, when he was a little boy, he got into a chemical accident. He got hit by a truck, and these chemicals got into his eyes, and he ended up going blind. But when he went blind, his senses heightened like other people do who go blind, but they heighten to a level where like he can use them to. He basically can see you, but he can't really see you. Like so. When he gets older, he becomes a lawyer. He's a lawyer by day, and then by night, he's a vigilante who gets in this fucking Daredevil suit, and he goes around fucking shit up to all the fucking criminals. So, Daredevil is a good-ass show. I cannot wait until season 3 to come out. It's going to be so good, especially after the way that the Defenders ended off. So, leading into that, show number 6 is The Defenders. The Defenders is a show of 4 different Marvel shows combined. Like, they all come together for this one limited series, which is Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. So all of them come together because they all have a common enemy in New York City, and they basically work together to defeat the enemy and make sure that the enemy doesn't like kill all humanity and whatnot. So, that was a really fucking good show. It made me kind of want to watch Iron Fist, but Iron Fist looks dumb as shit. I'm not watching it. So, that's just that. Show number 6. I'm on 6, right? I'm sorry. Yes, I'm on 6. So, show number 6, is Luke Cage. Luke Cage. It comes back in a couple weeks. Luke Cage is going to be good as shit. Luke Cage is about a guy, fucking black ass superhero, guys. It's like, no, let me stop. But Luke Cage is about a man who is he was in prison, and then he got into all this experimenting type shit, and then now he is bulletproof, and he gets out of prison and he goes back to Brooklyn, and he's either in Brooklyn or Bronx. I'm sorry, I can't remember which one. But he's in one of those boroughs, one of those cities. And it's a drug lord out there. It's a drug guy out there by the name of Cottonmouth. And he basically wants to stop Cottonmouth from doing what he's doing and killing people and selling drugs to people and everything that he's doing. So he tries to bring down Cottonmouth, and he also works with one of the detectives who's, you know, in the police department. So Luke Cage is a really good show. Luke Cage actually had a little relationship with Jessica Jones. You see that a little bit in Jessica Jones, and you also see them, you know, kind of awkwardly talk about shit in The Defenders. So you should definitely check all of those shows out. They all tie together. They're all really fucking good, and they all should be having a new season coming up within this year and 2019 besides The Defenders. The next show, which is actually number 8, because I thought last number was 6, but it was really 7. So I'm sorry, I'm all messed up. But next show number 8 is The Punisher. The Punisher was so good, and I don't really know any history about any of these characters in these Marvel Netflix shows. So everything that I'm watching on Netflix is my first time knowing anything of them. I never watched the Daredevil movie that came out in the early 2000s, and I never watched the Punisher movie that came out in the early 2000s. So I'm finding out everything as I watch these shows on Netflix. But from what I've seen, I really love all of them. The Punisher is about a he's not an ex-Marine, he's a veteran, and he basically wants revenge on the people that murdered his family. So a drug lord ended up sending a hit on the park where his family was, which was his wife, his daughter, and his son. And his whole family was murdered. And he goes on this rampage to basically kill and get ties to anybody who found his family. Now, you'll see the Punisher in season 2 of Daredevil. They talk about the Punisher a lot. He's actually in pretty much most of the episodes of that season. And then you can go ahead and watch The Punisher, the actual show. They had the first season, it came out last fall. So watch all of those Marvel shows. Show number 9, I'm on the right number count this time. Show number 9 is Narcos. Woo! Narcos! Now, one thing I will say about Narcos is that the whole show is in subtitles because they're speaking Spanish. So the only time that it's not in subtitles is the very few times that the Americans speak English. And it's not often. So if you don't want to read subtitles for a whole 3 seasons, I suggest you not even get into it. But me personally, I don't like subtitles, and that show was good as fuck. I sat there and read all of that shit, okay? Narcos was good as shit. If you like to watch stuff about drugs and crime and action, you should definitely watch Narcos. Narcos is based on a true story of Pablo Escobar and his journey of becoming the cocaine kingpin he was. It's very graphic. So if you don't want to see no graphic stuff like people dying and having sex and stuff like that, then also you shouldn't watch it neither, because like I said, it's very graphic. Season 1 and 2 are about Pablo Escobar, and then season 3 is about the Mexican cartel. So definitely check it out. Season 3 was a little bit slower than the first 2 seasons, but that's because the Mexican cartel, the 2 brothers that was at the head, they weren't as brutal and ruthless as Pablo was. So it wasn't as action-packed every single episode and bombs and people getting shot up every fucking time you turn the shit on. And I think season 3 was, I don't know, I'm not going to say it was better. They was all good. So let's move on. Last show number 10 is The Get Down. Oh Lord, The Get Down was so fucking good, and I was so mad that they canceled it, but I completely understand why. Because they canceled The Get Down because they were spending too much money on production, and enough people weren't watching it, and it was just like a waste basically. And I understand that because they released the parts so little. Like, they would put part 1 out and it only had 4 or 5 episodes, and then wouldn't release part 2 until a fucking year later. Who's gonna sit around and keep depending on only 4 or 5 episodes? You piecemealing me, give me all of it now. Why? So anyway, The Get Down is about some teens growing up in the Bronx in the 70s, I think. Yes, in the 70s. So they're basically in the just of discovering hip hop. So if you like old school hip hop stuff and you like to know about hip hop history, you should definitely watch that. They bring up Funkmaster Flex and a whole bunch of old DJs and everything like that, the OGs of the hip hop and shit like that. So like I said, if you like to know about a whole bunch of old school hip hop and shit like that, definitely check that show out. Like I said, they canceled it, so there won't be any more episodes of it. But from what is on there, it's really good. And I was so hurt when that show got canceled because that was a really fucking good show. I don't know. But whatever. They just don't care about what I think, huh? Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.